Hope I clicked us on right. Not looking right, but I'm going to go ahead and say welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking, everybody. It is great to see you. Wonder if I clicked on the wrong button and I'm not in the right window. Let's see what happens. I hate it when I second guess myself. Well, um, welcome back to Ribbon Candy Hooking. I'm Deanna. It is Friday night. It is great to see you. Thinking, did I make this post public? Did I do all the things I was supposed to do? It's not looking right at all. Okay. So, are we going to have one of these tonight? I wonder. Karen writes, your thumbnail for tonight's cartoon light is not visible. Okay, I'm going to log off here if you're there. Let's try something else. Yikes, Mom. So, Mom, okay, Becky, okay. So, hey, good to see you. 8 viewers. So, tell me right out of the gate, is there a problem? I'm with you here, and I'm going to stay on the screen, but I'm going to come to another window, and I'm just going to check the status of this video. Hold on 1 second. I am with you in spirit for sure. Um, Hang on. Did Mama do some silliness here? Did I screw something up tonight? Seemed like something different happened. Let me just check my. It was so tricky today getting this done in time. And let's see, I'm just checking my content while I am with you. Okay, live, hold on. And unlisted, that's not good. Okay, so I'm going to change that. Hold on, everybody. And public. I don't know how that happened. I am opening that up. So for those of you who, let me check. Are you there? Some of you are still there. Okay, great. No link on YouTube. Okay. So I think I just fixed that. I am so sorry. Somehow I wonder if this is a new default. It was set on unlisted, which is a setting I don't use at all. I use either public or private. I never use unlisted. There's no benefit to using it. Um, so that's weird. But thank you for making your way here. Great job. I'm hoping, I know when I see Karen that, let me just write back to her, check again. I know when I see her, it means that it is sorted out. I'm really hoping that this specific link can get us there. Um, Hold on 1 second. Still with you. Okay, I'm just going to refresh this, make sure. Oh, Deanna. Let's see. It is on public. Okay. Um, all right, let's see what happens. And there we are. 18. Okay, it looks like we're getting there. Sorry about that. Um, it's not you, it's me. It's always me. That never changes. I think we're better. I do want to see everybody log on first. I'll tell you what. Today has been a crazy day. I don't know what it is. It is such beautiful weather outside. Everything is starting to turn like wonderful colors. There's pumpkins everywhere. There's stuff to do. Everything is perfect. And I just feel so tired every day. Um, I don't know about you. Maybe is it something in the air? Is it I'm actually sick? Is it I'm dying? What is going on? I have been so tired. I found it so hard this morning to quickly get this show together, which in the end I did. I did 10 minutes ago, but I got a good head start this morning. It has just been hard. I was struggling with technology before I had to get out the door, and that's probably when I made a mistake, unless something has changed. But I'll tell you what, I'm going to be careful about it now, keeping an eye on it. Karen, okay, good. Karen, did you come in on the link? It was on unlisted. Did you come in on the link? I'm just curious to know because from now on, I'm going to look at the status of the link because I'm wondering if it's defaulting to unlisted. Oh, always something new, right, Mom? Great to see you again. I saw my mom earlier. It was our church day getting together with our craft group. Different people every time. It's called Hearts and Hands. It's in Hartford. Let me know if you're ever around. Such a lot of fun. Different people every time. I'm always there, of course, because I host it. It's 10 to 1. And my mom comes, of course, and our buddy Janice comes. She's from the sister church in Manchester, Connecticut, but she often comes to ours. And she's a knitter, crocheter, so she always brings a project. There's a few other buddies who are there always, unless they're away on vacation. And it's just so nice to sit and, we all do different things. My mom was painting the ornaments for the Yuletide festival to put on her sale table. Um, and I was working on my new project. I wonder if you know what, I think is it still in the car? I wonder where, I wonder where it is. It's my, wait a minute. I don't see it. It's the feet, the witch's feet walking through the mushroom field, and the title is Getting Her Steps In. I started working on that, and I cut up wool to use. I brought out some of my bat. I brought out a whole bunch of different things, and at the end of the day, I know there's so many things wrong with me, right? But I could not get it out of my head. The idea that it was a composition with feet. I just kept saying to myself, you must do this in all pantyhose. You must. You must use pantyhose. Feet go with feet, right? And at the end of the day, I just found that giant clump of pantyhose. If you saw the video from Sauter Village that I bought from Pauline of Magnolia, and she dyed beautiful colors in it. It just turned out the colors that she dyed are just perfect for what I meant to do. You know what? I think I have the colors here. Let me show you this. Maybe I can pull a clump out. Now I've got all my lights on tonight, so they might not show up well. But look at these. Look at these colors, and they're all gonna fall out my hand, right? And I'm gonna rain pantyhose in a second, but you see what I mean? Like this is my hand, but I've got like yellows and squash, and this is a funny avocado green. There's some kind of mixed greens, tomato red, a few different purples, and there's some maroons in there, and fuchsia, this kind of thing. I've got it in my Halloween bag from TJ Maxx, of course. But I think that's going to do me. I think that's going to do me. The kind of avocado green grass with a little bit of that butternut color. And then in the sky, I'm thinking purples. And then the clouds, jury's out on that till we get further. And the mushrooms, I'm thinking like the reds and like the orange colors. And let's see how it goes. But I was super excited to start working on that. And I can't wait to make a bit of progress on that. Becky, great to see you. Good evening from dry and needing rain, Indiana. Oh no. Oh no. Well, I hope that you get rain soon. I mean, I hope you get rain on Monday. I hope you get a ton of rain next week, starting on Monday morning, after you're finished with all of the beautiful autumn things that you mean to do. But yes, yes to that rain. Okay, so I come through on YouTube and I use the phone. But Karen, did you get there with YouTube in the end? Were you able? You did come in through YouTube on the end after I changed the setting on it. I always like to know what I did that worked, right? Sometimes things just get fixed and I think, oh, good, now that's fixed, but I don't know how I fixed it. And that makes me nervous. Um, Becky, yes, Helen, same here. Yeah, totally me. Sorry about that. Linda, good to see you. Good evening, beautiful sunset in New Jersey. Doggone technology. I know it. I know it. I'm so curious to know what fixed it. If I fixed it or if you all came in on like the general link, because there's always a general link through YouTube, right, for my channel. But I'd like to think that the links that I post also work. Um, oh, Karen says, here I am. Beautiful fall day here. Kirsten, you made it. Hello, friends. Here for just a few minutes. Great to see you. Happy to see you for any amount of time, Diane. Hey, I couldn't find you. I know, Diane. I think I screwed it up. I had it set to unlisted for some reason. I'm not sure if I did that by accident. I don't usually press buttons by accident. I'm so unconfident on the computer that I normally really pay attention to what I'm pressing. And I'm wondering if it's a new default setting that it defaults to. Um, I'm thinking I did do it differently today though, because I kind of have set it up and then I came back to it because I thought I would be able to work on it while I was at church, like just drop pictures in while I chatted. And I forgot I didn't have the internet there, and the girl who's in the office wasn't there to help me log on, so I wasn't able to. Maybe it was something. I hope it doesn't happen again. That's all. And Sharon, good to see you. Got notification for Facebook. Okay, good. Good evening, everyone. Okay, there we go. We got there in the end. We sort of got there in the end. I'm sorry I led you all on a wild goose chase. Judy, good to see you. Happy Friday. Welcome back. Changing it from public to private was the key. Okay, thank you. So it's good to know I can fix it. That's the thing. Yes, I fixed it. Catherine, good to see you. Good evening. You got here by clicking the YouTube notification on your phone. Okay. This is all good. This is all very good information for me to know. I'm going to really pay attention next time. Because something was different. Joyce, great to see you. Happy cocktail night. The link only worked on my phone. And whatever you changed, put it on my TV. Yes. All right. And you know what else I found out just now? That I can leave you here for a minute and you stay there, right? I don't lose you. And I can go over to YouTube and fool around with the link. I didn't know I could do that. I have never had the nerve to try that, but I'll tell you what, I am drinking, I already had a drink of wine, so now I'm drinking my water with collagen in it. Thank you, Shannon, for the great tip about collagen. I've been using that big container of collagen. I order it from Amazon. I had the lemon, now I've got the pumpkin. This is the pumpkin. It's twice as much as the others, but I figure it's fall, right? I'm going to spend the money on collagen. I'm going to spend the money on collagen, right? That's a normal sentiment. It's just water with the pumpkin, and it tastes so nice. It tastes so nice in tea and everything too. I had one drink and I didn't dare have another because tonight is the night that Jocelyn is having a sleepover, and she is so happy and excited. We are still talking about how on Tuesday, when it was her birthday, um, they always tell the children who have birthdays over the intercom, and they didn't say her name. So fair enough. She's new, right? So maybe, I don't know, something happened. She slipped through the cracks. Someone's knocking. Is it a bear? No, it's someone on the wall. Okay. Hoping that's not like the death knell beetle or something like that in the wall. I hear a knocking sound coming toward me. I hope it's real also. Anyway, she's having a birthday party today, and she's got 1, 2, 3 of her friends from the old. Okay, wait a minute. I gotta knock back. Hold on. I'm gonna do a little bit of an aggressive knock. Sorry about that. Just letting it be known that I can hear the knock. Now I got the dog going. So I just drove back to our old place, which was over an hour away. Picked up the 3 girls, drove back. So I hear knocking, and it's driving me crazy. Somebody's knocking. Yeah. See, I'm nice when I'm here, but then as soon as I interact off the screen, I don't know what's wrong with me. Anyway, on the car ride back, I think I lost every last shred of sanity and humor that I had within me. It was so loud. Girls, oh my God, so loud. And Jazz was probably the loudest one. When they get together, I'm thinking, Mom, was I like this? Were we so loud? Because Teddy with his friends, they're loud in a different, they're stupid loud, right? They make stupid voices, but this is like shrieking and yelling, and oh my God. God, I as soon as I came in, I was drinking before I sat down. I just poured wine and was drinking it before I even sat down. It was like, woo! So, yeah. I'm amazed that I made it here because I thought I would really have to lay down after that one. But everything's quiet now. Everybody's seduced by whatever's on the TV. It's some kind of that stupid item show cartoon thing. Susan, great to see you. Better not be a woodpecker. I heard the woodpeckers outside on the trees, because we're in the middle of the woods now. No, it was coming from the room next door, which is Jocelyn's bedroom. Might be somebody was just tapping and not realizing they were doing it rhythmically. But it's the kind of thing that would drive you out of your mind. My mom says yes. That's why Dad and I would take a jug of wine up to our bedroom with books and read and just pray that you didn't all destroy the house. That's another thing. It's like they're messing around with the door. Everything in here is new, and everything is from 19. Was that you who was knocking?
Did you just mention the FBI?
I did. You're watching me?
Yes.
Oh, you heard me say how loud you were? Okay, watch your mouth. Live TV. Here. You're watching me? I wasn't crapping on you. I was just saying, you're so loud.
I heard.
Oh my gosh.
They're watching this. They're watching
She's
this.
live. Okay, so your friends are on the other side of the wall. That's why you all were knocking. To see you have glitter all over your face. Yeah. Give a wave. Okay, now get out of here, you little birthday nut. All right, go. All right, so now I'm going to be careful what I say. I didn't realize they were watching the show. What great fans, huh? All right. Anyway, it's been a long day already, but a wonderful day. Oh, hey, birthday girl. That's right. That's so funny. That's so funny. Now, as an adult, it all makes sense, right? It's all coming together. So this morning, I was having this feeling that there was no way I was going to get a show ready in time because of hosting the thing at the church, and then I was going to go to Hampton and pick the girls up, and I thought it's never going to work out, is it? Because the main thing for me isn't standing here doing the show; it's the hours it takes to put slides into a slideshow. And on average, there's 30. Some nights we have 80 slides. They all take time, so and to put them in the right order and all that, and label everything. So that's what I was worried about. So I started it this morning. Thanks, Sharon. Thanks, Mom. Um, I'm hearing the soft knocks. Just saying. Um, Much softer though. Well done. So it occurred to me, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to cancel the show because I'm never going to have time to both run it and prepare it. And I thought, what could I do? Just for S's and G's, what could I do for a show that would be an interesting subject? And just then I opened up my phone because, I always get those emails in the morning from live auctioneers. And I have lots of searches in like Rhea rug, hooked rug, handmade rug, antique rug, retro, vintage, all of these kinds of rugs, and early American, like lots of searches. And they usually yield the same three rugs every morning. But sometimes something weird comes in and I go, oh, that's interesting. That's exactly what I'm looking for, right, to use on a show. So the rugs that came in this morning, I thought, at first glance, I thought, oh, those are so nice. I need to have those. I need to buy those. And then I looked at them again and I thought, those are not old rugs. Those are mass manufactured contemporary rugs, right? That are called hooked rugs, and they can be called hooked rugs because they are made somewhere else. They are mass produced. They are not hooked the way that we hook rugs, and they're sold everywhere. They're sold on, you type in hooked rugs, and the first things, the results that you get on Google are, Mackenzie Childs rugs and rugs that are on Amazon, and they are beautiful rugs, and it's often very hard to tell that they are not hooked rugs. Of course, we would look at them and say, that's not a hooked rug because we are rug hookers. But other people would look at them and say, looks good to me. And it occurred to me that there is this whole genre of rugs that are out there that you and I, as hookers, are probably not going to want to collect, but they are not without value, right? They are not without merit. I don't mean money value. They are with value. They sell for tons of money, but new and used, right? But they are not without merit because a lot of these rugs, and we'll look at a bunch of them tonight, they are either pulling from hooked rug traditions with classic hooked rug motifs, or they are trying to be something completely different, like a Western style rug, something like that. But it's remarkable how so many of these rugs, the ones that are for sale right now, and they're obviously selling because they are currently for sale, and nobody keeps stuff up and available in stock if it's not selling, right? So we can assume that the rugs that we're about to see are things that are selling right now. And it's interesting to look at them and to compare them to actually handmade rugs. It's also interesting to look at them and say, what here could be something useful that I would want to bring to my rug hooking? So we are talking, oh, Valerie, good to see you. TGIF. I agree. Um, we are talking about apples and oranges, and tonight we are talking about oranges, right? We are normally talking about apples. We're talking about a little bit of both, because I have to say, there's going to be a few points during the show tonight where I say new or old. Do you think it's a new or old rug? I'm sorry. I feel like I look naked, but it's happening. I'm going to say new or old, and I'm going to ask you to decide whether the rug you're looking at is new or old, and I'm going to try to trick you a few times. So let's get started. And many of these rugs, as you look at them, you're going to say, yeah, no, that's obviously a new rug. But let's look at them in terms of the design, right? Because these are rugs that are up for sale now. They're contemporary rugs that are being sold. People are buying them. What about these rugs, color, design, whatever, what is making them so appealing that they are being mass produced and mass sold? I just had like some spicy chicken. I think it's gonna kill me for this episode with the crazy thirst, right? Let's come over here and let's see. And you shout out to me when you oh, that's not it. Wait a minute, that's the wrong show. Cocktail. Nope, not. Hold on. Let's come over here. There we go. So, okay, we don't have a slide up yet. Oh, I forgot to put my logo in. I'm sorry about that. The little ribbon candy is usually up in the corner there. So, as we look at the rugs tonight, I'm going to look at my phone and I need to find each one because I changed the order of the show so I could do some tricksies and say, "Ooh, do you think this is new or old?" So I fooled around with the order quite a bit, which means I need to check my phone a little bit and be sure I know we're talking about the right rug. So I'm going to say to you with this first one, what do you think? Do you think this is a new rug or an old rug? And I'm going to pause for a second while I look for the answer myself. There we go. Okay. What do you think? You think this is a new one or an old one? So let's look at the design. It's very monochromatic. That doesn't give us a clue. It is a glorified hit or miss pattern, and it's because it's done in all browns, it really does look like new. Diane says new. Carol, great to see you. We're just getting started. Welcome, and I hope it was a beautiful day in Northford. I hope it's a beautiful weekend. Diane thinks this is new. It does, Catherine, everybody thinks this is new. It does look like, because it's monochromatic and because it's brown, it does look like ceiling molding, doesn't it? If you ever tour like castles in France along the Loire, that kind of thing, right? You look up and they have these formidable ceilings, right? Very impressive and expensive ceilings and made of wood, and it looks just like this. It is a variation on a log cabin. It's a log cabin with a really big open pane window. It's more of a courthouse steps than a log cabin in the way that the sides of each block are joined. Quilters, you know what I'm talking about. Gives a great optical illusion. Have another drink and look at it and you'll know what I mean. It almost looks like spools, right? A little bit. Interesting. Carol says old. We've got some new. We've got some old. You know what? It is meant to look old. That is exactly what they're going for here. And they didn't trick everyone. Carol, they tricked you. That's what they wanted. It is new. It is a hooked rug, um, camp, camp sliding rock. I think Camp Sliding Rock. Camp, I think, might be the brand or the manufacturer, and I think the pattern is Sliding Rock. Sliding Rock Early American. That's the full title, and it's 108 inches by 144 inches, so it's dang big. Now, this is starting at, what do you think for prices with stuff like that? Judy, you were seeing the spools, right? You can imagine this with a different color plan that it would look very, very different. The starting price on this is $100. You can start it at $100. I don't think that there is oh, I forget what that's called, reserve. I don't think there's a reserve. The auction ends on October 5th, and there are, it doesn't say how many people are watching this. Interesting. Maybe it does on the auction. I just took a screenshot. It's not where it should be in any way. The corners are too perfect to be old, Karen, that's a great observation. Dave, great to see you. Hi everybody, was out enjoying coffee on the cafe patio. Oh, very nice. Great to be with the group. Fully caffeinated. Sounds good. You're not having any sort of brisket or chili or cider or anything like that tonight. Coffee does sound wonderful. Judy. Oh, Judy, I caught that when you said it looks like spools. It certainly does. You can start this auction at 100, and it might be with only, well, what is it? Today's what, the 2nd, October 2nd? Only 3 days left. It could be that it stays low, but they are projecting an estimate on this rug. I mean, it is a large rug, right? All things considered, it's a very large rug at 108 by 144. They are expecting, it's one of these stupid ones, right? Between $6,838. Wow, that's specific, isn't it? And $8,889. So it's one of these. I think it's one of the New York ones that the description says hand knotted, and we know it's not. But we do know that it is a newer rug, and it's made by this company that I believe is called Camp or Camp Sliding Rock. I'm not sure. But definitely Early American is in the name of the pattern. I'm not sure that they know. So they kind of just crowded the description to say hooked rug, camp sliding rock, early American with the size. So it doesn't really give us specifics. I could not find a brand of rug that was called camp. But, starting this at almost $7,000, like, are you serious? Like, this is not an antique rug. If this was an older rug, I would say, yeah, maybe, because it's very, very pretty. It's very neutral. I could see a lot of people wanting this, but it just seems like a lot of money for this, doesn't it? And now that we know that it is a new rug, but you have to give it to them, right? It is a new rug, but it looks very good. I'm not seeing it close up, but for this kind of money, I'm assuming that they know the value of. I'm not sure that they do, based on other auctions we've looked at, right? But it is a good thing, and it's a very large rug. I think this rug is going to end up selling for, like, my guess would be $300, to be honest. I think it's going to do better than 100. I don't think it's going to get anywhere near the thousands. It might get to 500, but I would be shocked if it got any further. Gail, good morning. It's great to see you. Good morning, sunshine. I hope the day is treating you right so far. I love the rug. It's monochromatic. It's not super interesting, but it's super large, and it was a great hat tip to all of the rugs of that period, right? And all of the early designs. Now, what do you think about this one? New or old? This isn't as colorful as it looks. I don't know why, at least on my monitor, it's not showing up as colorful as it actually is. Um, this starting price, I'm going to wait for your comments to come in. I'm going to have one more sip of my drink. I got to say, I love these glasses. I found isn't this such a nice vintage glass? We had ones like this in the 70s, but not quite like this. Even with just my collagen water in there, it is fantastic. I just love the shape of it for some reason. I hope I never drop these. There's 4 of them. I hope I never drop these because I love them so much. You all are saying old. And I bet you're saying old because it looks a bit faded. That's not always the telltale. But, and Linda says it looks like it's 40s. Oh, I went to the wrong one again. I am so sorry. You're right. It is old. So this rug is described as, oh, Dave, well, I'm glad that you said new. The colors are bright. So yeah, it's good to have a mix. This one is an old rug. So it claims to be an early 20th century rug. I would say it is. I would say Linda says 40s. I'd go along with that. I'd say my first guess would be 20s, 30s. I'd put money down on 30s. So really close, right around that time when these rugs were still popular enough that I would think someone would make a large one. So I'm not sure that it says. I don't think it even has the. Oh, you know what? I can check the website. I'll check for the size on this in just a second. Probably the same seller. I'll tell you in a minute. But the starting price on this one is $650, and the estimate is like 2,300. Stupid numbers again to 3,900. So I'm going to click on this, and it's going to bring me to the website. Let me see. Okay, starting price $650, and let's get the size on this guy. So okay, so it says early 20th century, but then the description says, when they want this kind of money for something, right? We're talking about, like, they want almost $4,000 for this rug. You really want the description to be pretty solid, right? Because you're putting your faith in something online that you can't see in person. So it's described as an early 20th century rug, and then the description immediately says, celebrate the charm of American folk art with this exceptional vintage hand-hooked rug crafted in the late 1800s in the historic New England region. I mean, that's such a mouthful of garbage, isn't it? Like, that whole sentence, it has way too many words in it, right? Everything is, like, redundant. Um, so yeah, I wouldn't trust this at all. Featuring a striking geometric pattern, beautifully written, right? This is Peterman Company catalog type writing, but it's inconsistent. The dimensions are 28.5 by 54 and a half. So yeah, it's a good size rug. It's yeah, it's not that big really. Wait a minute, 24 and a half. It's not that big for that kind of money. And the starting price being $650. So this one appears at an auction called, so let's see what the auction house is. I mean, it's there on Live Auctioneers if you want to find it. It says Burlap cotton and wool. $58 to ship it, but also another 20% for the buyer's premium. This is in Illinois, obviously USA, and it doesn't say the name of the auction house, but if you're interested, it'll be there on Live Auctioneers. Yeah, so most of you guessed that this is an old rug, and it is an old rug. But the reason I'm showing it to you is it's basically the same pattern as the last rug. A little bit more color here, a little bit more history here. Um, the Judy, I'm going to catch that comment in a second. That looks like a good one. The thing that I like about this rug is obviously it's actually old. The hit or miss aspect of it, right? That colorful hit or miss. Um, what shape is that? Is that like a trapezoid or something? Um, like the two spools coming together. To me, I just love seeing good old fashioned hit or miss, right? It's so much a part of our lives. And even more than that, I love seeing the red centers because you know that that is like an Amish or that is a tradition that was learned from Amish communities, putting the hearth of the home, the center of the home, that burning red hearth in the center of the block, right? That is symbolic. That is what that means. And you can see some of the reds have kind of faded to oranges. I think this is really interesting. Dave says, I like the design. Might be monotonous to hook. A lot of white. Absolutely. It probably would be monotonous to hook. But you know, straight lines go fast. In that way, you'd probably be sitting there watching a show and get a couple blocks done and think, and then you do the math real fast in your head. You know, when you start, do you ever sit down and you start working on a rug and you think, oh, this is going to take forever, and then you know you watch one of your Hallmark movies and you got a big chunk done. You think, whoa, that was fast. And then you go, okay, that's about 1/16 of the rest of it. So 16 times, you do the math when you sit, particularly when you're making good progress and you think, ooh, I think I know how long this is going to take. Exciting, right? So interesting. Yeah. Judy says something really interesting. That first rug is still for sale commercially in a variety of sizes from a site called Michaelian Homes. Oh, what? 9 by 12 goes for 3,900 new. Okay, that's a lot. Let's go back there for a second and compare to the price on this one. Wait a minute. So now this one was smaller, right? Let me just go back. Just let's figure this out. This kind of stuff annoys me, inconsistency. So this is 108 by 144. I'm not good enough at math to put that together right now. But they want, so a new one sells for 3,900. They want between 6,800 and 8,900. Like, are they out of their minds? I mean, they are out of their minds, clearly. Janet, great to see you. Welcome back. Happy Friday. Judy, good thing you found that. What a bunch of skunks. Seriously. Like, they want double the price for a rug that is still for sale. You know what? People have Google Lens. Everybody has Google Lens now, whether they use it or know about it or not. If you have a phone, you probably have Google Lens. And people can't figure this out exactly the way that Judy just figured it out. That's really irritating, isn't it? That really irritates me. And you know what? I will never buy from that company because they do not know what they're selling. They do not know they don't know anything about what they're selling. They know one thing, that they want the most possible money for it. That is the only thing that they know. They will sell you a sack of potatoes and tell you it's like a bag of gold and take your money, and then you're done. That's it. I'm estimating almost daily as I hook my son's rug. Oh my gosh, that's right, because that is epic. And sometimes I wonder when I do that, because it's almost like a compulsive thing with me, estimating how much more I've got to do and how much I finished so far. It's like compulsive, and sometimes I wonder how much time, what percentage of time have I taken away from the progress of the hooking of the rug to stop and calculate, which I constantly do. It's one of those things, isn't it? Shame on them is right. Shame on them is absolutely right. Those dirty little skunks. Okay, so let's see what the next one is. Okay, what about this one? What do you think? Now you detect a theme here, right? I'm showing you a lot of rugs that have a similar quality to them. Um, they're all variations on a log cabin. This is a variation on a log cabin. It maintains that red center, the hearth in the center, that little cube of red, but it does not, each square does not have the configuration of a log cabin. It's just the corner of. And old for sure, old. Okay, so hang on while I check and be sure I give you the right answer. Um, oh, Diane, great to see you. Cheers, my dears. We're playing some games, Diane. We're looking at new and old rugs and trying to figure out if this is a new one or an old one. And those of you who answered so far, you got it right. It is an old one. It is a vintage American hooked rug on jute. It is 51 by 67. Again, crazy starting price, starting at 900. I think that's definitely high for a geometric. But yes, it is an old rug. It is a beauty. And let's just, Kanga, good evening. Oh, started hook. Oh, stop it. You started hooking your first rug this week, and the ribbon candy hooking videos have been so helpful to you. Kanga, I am so happy. Huge welcome to you. You are so super welcome here. I'm glad that the videos are useful. I love hearing that because I work in a vacuum, except on Monday mornings and Friday nights when we're together. And sometimes I feel like my life and my work is useless, but then people will say, I learned from you, and then I realize it's all worth it. And let us know if you have any questions. This is a great place to be, and it's a great place to get answers. I'm super happy that you're there. Happy Friday. So all of these varieties of spin-offs of the log cabin, right, borrowed from quilting lore. Let's look at them one more time. So we've got this one, which is, I think, the closest relative to the log cabin. Well, this one's pretty close too. That's more like a courthouse steps, though. And this one is more just framed, isn't it? This one's just a straight up optical illusion. Kinga says, "Thank you, new hobby for the 64-year-old newbie." Well, good for you. I mean, that's not old at all. You have so much time to play with the hooking and develop your style and find your way, and we are going to help you in any way that you want. It is such a lot of fun, right? It has saved so many of us from so many things, including boredom. So it's fun to find. It's a fun craft to find. Now, I think I have one more for you along the lines of the log cabin. And no, oh, spoiler alert. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Something happened. Hang on, everybody. Close your eyes. Do blinders on here. Wait a minute. Didn't you see one more that was clearly a log cabin? You know what? I'm not going to do this. I hate it when I do this. I saw it and I clicked off of it. We'll come back to it later. That makes me super angry. Nope, I'm not going to do it. Okay, but now I got to find my way back. Okay. All right. So hey, we'll come back to the one that you glimpsed when I clicked off the screen. But we're going to move on design wise. We're sticking with geometrics right now, and you know, I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't know why I didn't have the log cabin with the other log cabins. Right? They definitely belong together. It was a variation for sure, but I meant to put them together and I screwed that up. So I want to look at some geometrics first because whether the rugs are new or old, there's one thing for sure, right, that is true, and that is that the new rugs, right, absolutely are copies of or the variations of a theme based on old designs, right? There's hardly any new rugs that are completely new. For whatever reason, when people are selling these hand hooked rugs, but they are mass produced, they are so often influenced and inspired by actually antique rug designs. So, not surprising. And yes, occasionally you do see a crazy abstract, but you know from past episodes, a lot of those crazy abstracts we also saw in the 1940s, 1950s, 1930s, right? We did see abstract rugs during that time too. And then we saw copies of abstract rugs. One thing that is for sure is that these companies that are mass producing these designs, they don't seem to have any new ideas. I don't think there's maybe one exception in the show tonight, maybe one. Everything else is a variation on something that you have already seen, and that says to me that the designing that we've been doing since the late 19th century in hooked rug design right up until today is pretty solid. And I know that because they're still copying it with new rugs, right? So coming over here, what do you think? New or old with this one? This is a straight up geometric. It could be, you might say like, oh, it reminds me of a Kaffe Fassett fabric, textile print, or it looks very sort of Santa Fe. It looks a little bit like needlepoint. It's obviously a rug that is hooked with yarn. I can tell that just by looking at it out of focus from a distance. Karen says old. Um, One of the things about this rug, two things about this rug that I think are interesting. It is inspired by, in my mind, one of two things: either hexagons. Remember, we were talking about hexagons in the last, that must have been Monday's episode. I can't remember what context it was in, but we were saying, oh, aren't hexagons a fun design to play with? Because versus, like, now we see more beehives than hexagons because they were a quilt design and people knew how they worked. They understood that they were interlocking, that the edges would be tidy, they would be easy to execute. It reminds me of a hexie quilt. It also reminds me of like Native American design. Color wise, a little bit shape wise, Native American design would definitely, antique rugs would have like a field, like an open field with a lot more symbolism in it. You don't see Native American rugs with repeat patterns. So I'm leaning more toward the hexie quilt. But I have to say, most of you were fooled, which is fantastic. This is a new rug. I think, hang on, let me find. Yep, this is a new rug. This is another camp rug. This is a rustic camp rug called Gunny Hill, 8 by 10 feet. It says hand hooked cotton rug. Interesting, because it sure do look like yarn. I mean, it can be cotton yarn for sure. Rustic Camp Gunny Hill hand hooked cotton rug, introducing the rustic. I'm not going to say it again. Crafted in a charming antique or vintage style. This is a hand hooked rug, meaning someone was sitting at the machine that made the rug. Right. That's whose hands they were. Features beautiful burnt red orange rust finish, adding a warm touch to any space. Made from 100% cotton and burlap backing. So they didn't show back of this rug in the advertisement, but the fact that they know that means there's a sticker on the back of it, right? These people do not know. So it means that there is a sticker on the back, which means it said those words, right? The Gunny Camp Rug, Early American Style Collection. This is definitely not Early American style, but that's okay. So this rug, again, starting price $100, and it's estimated between 4,966 and $6,500. That's never going to happen in a million years, is it? But um, interesting. And Karen says it looks like the backside of a punch drug. Absolutely, it does. And you know what? It might be. It might be a machine punch drug. It might be the back of a machine punch drug because we are getting really defined channels, right? The directional punching, hooking, the sense of having these rows, these channels is really strong. Even though the photo is a little bit out of focus, I actually touched up the photo and enhanced the quality of it. The actual photo is not that good. Imagine wanting like $6,000 for something that is slightly out of focus and you don't see the back. But yes, it does have that textured look. It almost looks like raffia or wicker or something like that, like a straw type rug, because it is so highly textured. So it appears to be punched. I don't think I have another photo. Yeah, I don't think I have more than one photo of any of these rugs, sorry, because they only show one and sometimes a close up, but usually just one and then one of it in the distance on the floor. No close ups, right? So they're asking exorbitant amounts of money for these rugs that they really have other than the size and what the sticker says, very little information. And as Judy told us, some of these are still available. What can we take away from a rug like this? Well, come on, color. In this season, oh, all of the rusts, the oranges, you see all of the different oranges. They kind of fade into each other here and there. They switch to rust or brown or move back to a terracotta. There's a lot of color shift among the warm colors, mostly oranges. And then there's a lot of neutrals because remember, brown is regarded as a neutral and so is white and cream. So there's a lot of neutrals in this rug. We're getting our big pops with complementary colors, orange and blue. Right, those are the main colors. There is another color that is like a white that looks like it hints towards celery or sage. Very, very smart. That's what gives it that Santa Fe look, right? The light sort of clay colors that it's got there. But the blue um, really hits home as an autumn theme to me because of all of the mixed oranges and then a little bit of that blue sky, you know, the blue sky in autumn. It's not the white sky of winter yet. It's still that blue sky that gives such a good contrast to the fall color, you know. Absolutely beautiful rug. Lots to take away from that. Now, what about this one? I know you're probably going to get this one. You're all going to get this unanimously. But I think it was still, I want to show you a series from this rug because this is quite a good store, and I'm going to tell you where I found it. It's an interesting store. What I will tell you, I think I probably gave it away by saying that. Patricia, Patricia says, well, Diane says new, and Diane, you are right. Patricia says, I have 2 vintage rugs, a little wear around the edges, but have no idea what they are worth, if anything, and seems wrong to have them just rolled up. What to do? Well, that's such a good question, Patricia. Make sure, first of all, that when you roll them with the loops out. So, because it can crack the binding if you roll it with you want to roll it so that the finished rug is on the outside, not the back of the rug, so that none of the backing cracks. You know what you should do, Patricia? Post it in our group. Are you on Facebook too? Because our group is called Rug Hooking and Punch Needle Club. Post a picture of it. Within seconds, I can guarantee you, people will be on that post giving you their ideas, and I'll see it there too and be able to give you my ideas. If you're not on Facebook, please send, if you have photos, to me at ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com, and we will look at it in the next gallery night, which probably will it be next week? Let me check. Is next week Columbus Day weekend already? Let me just check that before I forget and we move on. But one way or another, Patricia, see if you can get us the photos of that, because we will be able to help. I can guarantee you, I'll be able to tell you. It would be extraordinary. I mean, it would have to be a very, very unusual rug that neither I nor anyone in the group could say, like, I know what that is. I bet we will be able to help you. Okay. Oh, no, wait a minute. Okay, so today, this is the weekend of the 4th and the 5th. Oh, Jiminy Cricket, next week is Columbus Day weekend. So, okay, yeah. Oh, I go for my appointment next Friday. I'm trying to get that shot to lose weight, you know, because nothing else is working, that's for sure. All right, but I should be free at night. I'm going to have to check with my mom and my sister because we're going to head over there. So I'll just check and make sure I'm not supposed to be over there tonight, and then I'll let you know. But in any case, the next time I'm live, I think we will do a gallery night. So go ahead and send me your gallery, all the projects you're working on. Patricia, things like you have rugs and you'd like to find out more about them. Anything that has to do with rugs or even textiles in general. Let's look at your projects, the things that you're thinking about, and the things you're working on, either next Friday night or the one after. TBD, to be determined. And that'll be the best way for us to give you a really good answer. And it is possible to give a good answer just looking at photos. That's entirely possible. Okay, so let's come back over here. And yes, new, but a great vintage inspired design. Judy, I completely agree with that. It is completely new. Patricia, you said they are correctly rolled up and you are on Facebook. Might have to have help with sending pictures. Okay, well, you know what? Patricia, where are you? Are you anywhere near me in New England? Let us know where you are because maybe we could give you help with taking photos. I know it is not for everyone, and I know my own mom who is here doesn't use her phone. I still have friends who don't use phones and take photos that way and don't do things that way, and that's just a lot of people. So maybe we can figure out a way for somebody to help you out, or if you're near a guild, we can maybe find somebody who can help take a photo of that, or we can figure out how to connect you. I know we can do it. You are in Binghamton, New York. Patricia, did we meet when I was up in New York? I was near Binghamton when I spoke at the McGowan Guild, right? And then I was in that other cute town that was way, way far west for the Robert Frost thing that I did at a small library. Oh, what was that called? I forgot. Anyway, did we meet when I was up there? That wasn't too long ago. Yes. Okay. Oh, great. So, are you part of that guild? Are you part of the McGowan Guild, or are you part of the group that was out west when I did the library talk? Because either way, I can match you up with buddies who can definitely help with identifying it and taking the picture. Patricia, thanks for logging on. It's great to see you. We're going to figure this out. It's going to be easy to figure it out. Um, okay, so I'm going to keep an eye on that thread too because I don't want to drop the ball on that. Now, this rug, we met at Pearl McGowan. Okay, great. So I'm thinking of people there who would be the best for that kind of thing. You know what you could definitely ask them there, and they might know or might not know. Obviously, well, that guild was really, I was going to say a lot of the guilds, particularly the McGowan guilds, are very McGowan centric. That guild was not particularly McGowan centric. I was really surprised that there was so much. Well, I sold a lot of my stuff, which is obviously new designs, and some of them have an older style, but many of the ones that sold were really far out. I was really surprised. Um, let me know if you bring them there. If you could have someone photograph them and send them to me. I think most people in that guild know me personally, you included, and maybe somebody could take a picture for you and you could get it to me for gallery night. Otherwise, if there's not a meeting soon or you're not planning to go to a meeting soon, I can brainstorm some of the people at that guild and see if somebody could help with taking a photograph. That could be good. Um, Patricia, I guess you're too far to come to the Halloween party in the Berkshires. The Halloween party is Friday, October 24th, and I'll be there with quite a few of the buddies, and we're having a big rug display, and a bunch of vendors are coming, and it's just a great day out to look at a rug display, and do some rug hooking shopping. I know that's probably far, but I'm going to put it out there because that would be an interesting opportunity too to bring the rug and have lots of people look at it in person. Just another idea. I had so much fun that day at the McGowan Guild. I had so much fun that day. I always have fun when I talk, but sometimes I have more fun than other times, as you can imagine, right? And I didn't know what to expect at the McGowan Guild because I feel in a lot of ways like my brand is kind of the opposite, right? I'm not moving away from McGowan, right? Definitely not moving away from McGowan or from teaching or certifications and things like that. Just style wise, we're very different. And even though I do a lot of traditional stuff, it's not the same stuff that Pearl did. Um, oh, thank you so much. I hope to come back because it was a big turnout that day. That was a huge group that day. But it was such a good day. I felt like I met so many people who I knew about from the internet and knew about from here, and I got to meet them in person. So many people were like really, sometimes people don't come up to you and wait and say like, oh, I watched the show or whatever for whatever reason. And I know it's hard to do that sometimes. You're shy or introverted or whatever, and there's so many people buzzing around. But so many people came up and said nice things that I felt like a superstar when I drove away. I remember it was a tough driving day for some reason. I think it was rain, but it was a hard ride and it took a long time, and I was still so happy. And I remember there was one lady there who was much older, and she was one of the founding, I forgot her name. She was absolutely lovely. She was one of the founding members of the guild. And somebody ran ahead to me because there was like a line of people buying stuff and chatting and stuff. And somebody ran ahead to me and said, so and so, and it was this woman is coming over, and just kind of as an aside, she's one of the founding members. It's like a big deal, right? So I like to know things like that because I would like to give due respect, right? So she came over with somebody on either side of her helping her, and she came over, slowly, and the two people who kind of had her stopped, and she stopped in front of me, and she said, um, I, I enjoyed your talk. I didn't agree with most of what you said, but I respect what you do, and I really enjoyed hearing you. And I thought, man, if life just worked like that, if you could say to someone, I didn't agree with a lot of what you said, but I really enjoyed you and I respect you, then it would be a very different world, wouldn't it? I really appreciated it. It was for me very moving. I wrote it in my diary that night, that whole exchange, and I told it to a lot of my close friends who are not rug hookers, and they knew it meant a lot to me because just to be able to communicate that well and to give such grace to people who are younger, people who are coming up, who might or might not be whippersnappers, to be so kind and accepting, but also to be classic sort of Northerner, New Englander, right? To be very clear, like, I didn't agree. Like, I say a lot of things that people will take exception to, because my style is much more sort of bohemian and much less technical than a lot of other teachers, and it's not for everybody. But I do believe that it should be a choice, right? I believe that they should both exist. And if someone comes up with 100 new techniques, I believe all of those should exist too. But it doesn't mean it has to be your favorite either, you know. Oh, I'm definitely going to need some more water today. So back to this guy, Patricia, thank you. We'll figure this out because I'm real curious about that rug too. Back to this guy. It is a new rug. And yeah, you know, it is, Judy, it is a very pretty vintage inspired design. It brings in that great Americana, right? It's like, you know, in early America, you don't see a lot of chicken. I don't think you see, maybe a handful. I've seen a chicken shape, like a bird shape, not clear whether it's a chicken or a rooster or what, but in early America, you know, people were not in that country decorating frame of mind, and we weren't celebrating like yard birds. You know, we just were not doing that at this point. Um, so this is not like an authentic, but you know, just the idea of this country scene, this gable of this house or barn, and we've got this beautiful rooster up there, and he is very colorful. And then the added detail of the sort of honeycomb design behind it, hexes again, right, hexagons, very pretty piece. Now, the thing about this design and a bunch of the designs I'm going to show you in the next couple of minutes, this is a rug that's on Amazon, and these are quite plush rugs, and I know they are because I've seen some of them in real life. I don't own them, but I've seen them like at yard sales and things. I've seen some of these designs. The store is called Park Designs. And these rugs are like welcome mat size, 24 by 36. This one's called Break of Day Rooster. And it's described as a farmhouse style accent rug for kitchen, bathroom, entryway. It's an indoor or outdoor mat. So this rug will survive outside as well. These rugs are, my phone keeps doing things with me here. Hold on, $89. So any of these designs, and again, Park Designs on Amazon, that's the name of the store, $89. Now you might be thinking, well, $89, that's a lot. I'd rather make my own rug for 89. Absolutely. Now wait a minute. Why is this? Hold on. Why is this still on? Hang on. Okay, wait a minute. Oh, come on. Don't play. Don't play with me. Now, where did that dang rooster go? Okay, hang on. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Ah, stop it. Okay. 96. I'm telling you, this is like boggle. Like the computer's doing something to me tonight. So these are $89. Now, if you're thinking, oh, that's a lot for an accent rug, you know what? It is a lot. And we like making our own rugs. But this is a nice quality item. You have to admit, it's a nice design. It's a super utilitarian rug. It can be inside, it can be outside, it can be machine washed. It is nice and plush. And you know what? When I think about it, and I'm going to show you another one from the same company. This is one of their other designs. And we've looked at this before in design like classes. This one is called, I don't know what the rustic country run. Same thing, right? Maybe a little bit bigger. It's a whack-a-mole. It absolutely is. I've looked at this one before because I think this is an exceptionally good rug hooking design. And again, it's still Park Designs. You know, just to complete my thought, do you have the same situation at home where, well, the kid, you know, I still have two young kids. They're 13 and 14. No, I'm sorry, 12 and 13 right now. Don't push it, right? 12 and 13 right now. And I am 53, right? And going to turn 54 in February. And I am tired. And I have got a cat who is not particularly destructive, but she does claw on rugs, and she also claws on the side of the couch. So I guess she is destructive. And we've got the dog, right? He doesn't necessarily claw, but he runs his butt in circles all over the carpet and the couch, right? He's a dog, he does that. So I don't put my rugs on the floor for so many reasons. And when I think like, you know, isn't it a bit ironic that I'm a rug person and I don't put my rugs on the floor? Not really, right? Because I know all of the things those rugs are going to touch. You know what I mean? So I don't want them on the floor. And then I think about stuff like this for $89, and it's like, God, that's a nice rug. right? I mean, it gives you the feeling, right? And even the hooking in the background, a little bit of that antique black feeling. Isn't that something? Now, what I really love about this rug, and I see this so rarely, we often see rugs that are like villages or whatever that tell a story of a village, but you usually see like a horizon line and then you see all the buildings on the line and there's the village. And this one is very different because this is the kind of rug that you could approach from anywhere, right? If you have the classic sort of open floor plan, right? You put it down in the middle, no, in the middle of the floor. Whoever approaches it from whatever direction, they're going to see it right side up. There's a lot to be said for that. The fact of using these kind of Jack and the Beanstalk flowers as the dividers and the fact of them not being symmetrical makes it look so handmade to me. But they maintain the theme of the village, right? With the little log cabin house, the little church, the residential house with the sheep, and then the farmhouse or the barn with the animals. I mean, it has that great country look, but Karen says, I love the off-centering. Absolutely. Now, is this rug under copyright? Absolutely, it's under copyright. But you know what's not under copyright? The idea of breaking your composition into diagonals and making the diagonals flowers and putting different things into the sides. The idea of an offset diagonal composition broken into quarters, that idea is not under copyright. So another beautiful rug from Park Designs. All of these rugs are $89. Here's another one. Was at an angle. I couldn't get a better one than this, but classic farmhouse rug, Park Designs, Amazon, right? And they're showing us a rug. Now, where did they get this idea from? Oh, from us, right? From us rug hookers who love primitive. They've got the classic double border, not all the way around, but just side borders with the sprigs are a little bit broken and interrupted color-wise, berries, hearts, classic prim designs, that big crow that's almost as big as the roof, right? Up there on this Jack and the Beanstalk vine, and this lilting little saltbox house, all of our favorite motifs, hearts, vines, the bird, the star, the house. I mean, classic rug hooking, isn't it? Really great design. And oh, and this is another one by Park. I might have more in here that come up later. And I think this one is outrageously great too. I absolutely love this design. Another sort of rooster design. And what can we take away from this? God, so much, right? Like so much. So we have a rooster here. He's not being done in classic rooster colors. Yes, there's yellow and there's red, but it's not like, you know, to me, yellow and red always make me think of kitchen and like French style kitchen, like the French decorating kind of thing, like with chefs, right? With plaques of chefs and things like that. And that's all well and good, but sometimes I have too much of the red and yellow color palette. And I have to say, in this case, it is really tempered by that super light minty green at the bottom and the very crisp and graphic black and white. Very strange, very unusual color palette, lots of neutrals in the back, yet it maintains this really colorful vibe. The stylization of the rooster, just that very, no pun intended, sort of cocky position of the head, right? He's super stylized. The stylization, the graphic lines and patterning that's on his throat, on his tail, on the edges of his wing, really smart. Really well done. Karen says that Charlie Brown zigzag is weird. You know, now that you said it, I can't unsee it. But in a different color, I quite like it. I have to admit, I quite like it. And the black and yellow goes even further because there's some bees in there too, right? Which furthers the storytelling. Is he being irritated by the bees? Are they buzzing around him? Is that why he's in kind of a weird pose? And one of the best things about this composition to me, the flowers, because in primitive compositions we often have flowers, particularly the circle flowers, at the bottom lined up but not touching anything. In this case, they overlap with each other a little bit. They're still very flat, but they also interact and overlap with the bird. And I think that's interesting. That one that's overlapping the bird is fantastic. It does a lot for this composition. It is really very different. So these are all Park designs on Amazon. Who knew? $89 each. Welcome Matt size. Now, I did skip around because the whole presentation rolled while we were talking. This was the one we were looking at before we started looking at the park designs. So we looked at this one, and then this was the next logical one to come in order. And I feel I have to ask you, although I bet you are going to know, whether this is an oldie or a new one. Um, I will let you guess for a second. But I will say this has a lot in common with the one with the hexagons we saw immediately before it. This, I think, owes a lot to Parcheesi, or um, is it backgammon? No, it's part. Is it Parcheesi with the stars like that? Certainly looks like a board game in any case. Um, in great colors, right? Very similar in colors, that sort of southwestern palette, to the one we saw before it that was all the hexes that we said looked like it was punched, like the back of a punch. This one has a lot of, Diane says new. This one has a lot of directional hooking too. You can see in the background there's really intentional directional hooking on the sides, right? That goes horizontal, but then around the top we see a little bit of color change, right? Little variegated color. They're still sticking with the rust family. Really unusual, made to look a little bit old, but Diane's right. It is a new rug. And this is another rug that's on Amazon. I forget what company this is, but this is another, I think, Amazon rug. So it is either going to be wool or cotton, but something brand new, that is really following suit with the older geometric kind of quilt patterns. What about this one? What do we think about this one? Another geometric, right? And you can't go wrong with geometrics. And when you think about it, have you ever hooked a geometric? And the reason I ask is because when I'm doing the rounds and stuff, you see a lot of designs, and I hook a lot of designs here at home, and I don't hook a lot of geometrics. I think about them a lot, I talk about them a lot, but when it comes down to it, I don't hook them a lot. Now, isn't that strange? Because geometrics were the first designs that were done. Geometrics were always regarded as not very good, right? Not things that you would want company to see. They were rugs that you would put in the kitchen or in the bedroom, but not in the living room or the front room where company would come. You'd put like fancy pictures in those rooms. So geometrics at the beginning of the rug hooking timeline are not seen as very special rugs, right? They're just kind of um, the kind of throwaway utilitarian type rugs. But coming into the 20th century and the 21st century, these are the rugs that I think we are first to label as folk art, because the motifs are so straightforward. They're so recognizable. These are all familiar stuff we're seeing. This has a little bit of a Native American flavor to it. I think part of that is the hit or miss color striping. If it weren't for that, I would say, I'm not sure. It looks like it could be a 19th century, right? But Diane is right. This is another rug that's up at auction. Um, this is another camp rug. It's called Camp Vila Montana rug. So it does have that Western feel, right? I can see where the Montana is coming from. This is up at auction. Starting price for this one, doesn't say when it closes. Isn't that weird? Shouldn't that be the first thing they want to tell you, like how long you've got? Oh, it might be over. Yeah, it probably ended this afternoon, because when I took this screenshot, it said it was 134 lots away. Wonder how much this sold for. If anyone has time, it was on Live Auctioneers. Camp Villa, like Villa, Villa, Montana rug. Let me see if it lets me go to the auction. Zoom in. Oh, Valerie, I will. I'm going to zoom into the loops. That's a good one. So it started at 100, and they wanted between 975 and 1268, as usual. Crazy. I'm going to go to the website and see if it lets me see what the closing. Oh my God. Okay, it did. Guess how much it sold for? Guess. Now remember, the estimate was 974 to 1268. I'm going to hold for a minute while you guess how much it sold for. Let's see. It said only one bidder was watching the item, but that must mean that someone else swooped in, because there was a bit of a bidding war that started at 100. So I'm gonna wait. Before I tell you, I'm gonna wait. The bids went like this: 100. Oh, Karen says 560. 100 jumped to 300, jumped to 500, 600, 610. Right, we're running out of steam here. 620, 630, 640. We're getting nickel and diming it now. 650, 660, 670, 680, 690, 710, 720, 730, 740, and that's where it landed. 740. Isn't that funny? Starting way back at 600, right? It went up in $10 increments because I think both parties were running out of steam and going, not sure, not sure. But you know, when you're in it, at for me, 500, like, come on, that's a lot of money. When you're in it at 500, I guess it's like you do that thing in your head, like, what's another 10, and then you're 140 more. So it ended at, I think that was a lot too, Karen. I think that's an extraordinary amount for this rug. But 740 because, hey, I bet if Judy Google Lens this, there would be another one for sale that probably cost, way, way less. And with the ability to use Google Lens, you could also search for this rug like on eBay. It is a gorgeous rug. And, all I can say is with stuff like this was not bought as a piece of history, right? So this is not an heirloom. For us, we look for rugs that are a moment in history, and they speak to the storytelling of our beloved craft. This is not that, right? This is a rug that has the Southwestern look, probably is for like a log cabin kind of a house, a second home, or someone does this kind of decor, and this is what they needed. Judy says, geez, this is from the same website. 4x6 is $840 new. Crazy, Judy, isn't it crazy? But you know who probably bought this? A decorator. A decorator with unlimited funds, I bet, bought this. And those people are not accountable. I mean, when they work for, really wealthy people with deep pockets, I don't know that they itemize stuff or give the kind of account for what they buy that would make it impossible to. I mean, why, if you're paying someone else's money, and this is highly pixelated, sorry about that, but it is a low quality photo that they loaded, right? If it wasn't, we would be looking at it like all our other photos. They loaded a very low quality photo. And I even enhanced these. This is so Santa Fe. It really is. Really pretty. But yeah, I agree. I think 760 is absurd. What size was that one? That one was, let me see. Let me come back over here. That one was, hold on, I'm coming back. Huh. Oh, okay. It was, it was 3 foot by 5 foot. So, so that's quite big. I mean, I could, it's 2 inches smaller than I am the big way. If that's how I think about it, if I'm laying on it, like, I'm quite small, but for a rug, right, that would be a fairly large rug. So it does make sense, but it still seems like this person paid more. It really puts you off wanting to bid at auctions, doesn't it? Because when you see things going for these absurd amounts of money, it's not endearing, is it? It's like, yeah, no thanks. That's a hard pass for me. Wait a minute. Did that bad thing happen again? No, we're good. So I'm going to move along here. 549 new. 549 new. That is incredible. Dave said 1465. Dave, it could have been. I love all the guesses you made. Um, it could have been because, yeah, people are not always buying with their own money. I remember that. There used to be a lot more live auctions around New England. And you just know either the people who are there are super wealthy and they have the money. So it's not, they don't care how much they end up spending. It's fun. It's a sport to be there bidding. Or there's a person there bidding for them. And that is almost worse because, then it's like unlimited. And if you really want something, you have to, um, you have to wait for people to fall asleep. I mean, that was the only way I ever bought anything when I was in high school and going to these auctions, was to wait for everybody else in the room to fall asleep, which did happen. And then it made it easy for people like me to swoop in with, my Dunkin' Donuts money, like $17 kind of thing. Gail says, what would a true Native American rug sell for? It really would depend on the size. So most of the Native American rugs that we see that are like the Navajo style rugs that come from trading posts out west, those are a fairly small size, and they were made on a specific kind of a loom that was leaned up against a tree, and they had to be that size, right? They weren't made on a larger looms. So they tend to be small rugs. But certain patterns are very rare, and certain patterns are done by specific tribes. Certain patterns also include specific colors, like natural dye colors, that are also considered very rare. So, I mean, you can pick up a Native American rug, which would be like a welcome mat size for the most part. That is like the trading post size. There are larger rugs, right, that are done on different kinds of looms. But the old ones that really were part of like the tourist trade, like you come out west, like in your car for the summer, you stop at the trading post, it's going to be a small rug probably that you bring back with you. And those are the rugs that made it out this way, but for the most part. So you could pick up a Native American rug for, $100, $125. It's sticking with the same size because the big ones, I mean, that would really multiply depending on how rare the design is, the colors, also the subject, some of the like the hunting subjects and things like that, like people with spears and spearing animals, those don't have the sort of interest that they might have, or they don't even have the same neutrality that they might have once had, where it's like, oh, out west, people killing stuff. Yeah, of course. Now we're a bit more, there's not as huge of an audience for like every subject, but let's just do apples to apples. Um, you can still get them for about $100, but the ones that people really like and fight over would be more like 700 to 1,000 for the ones that are more rare. But there's a lot in between, and there's a lot of volume because these were made for the tourist trade. So it's not like they're rare. It's like they were at posts all over the place along the road, and they were sold in stores besides trading posts. They were sold in department stores. They were sold in department stores in like Manhattan. So they're not rare, and for that reason, it is possible to get them for not so much money. They also tend to wear really well. They are woven rugs. They typically have a really thick pile, very coarse wool, right? It's not refined wool like the kind of wool. Thank you so much. Like the kind of wool we use in rug hooking. Thank you. Don't throw out the other glass because it still had a little bit of my collagen in it, like that pink glass I left out there.
Okay, yeah.
Um, I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah, they were really, the yarn was very rough, and if you feel those kinds of rugs, it feels different, right? People would weave them. I mean, it must have felt rough, right? Our craft is different. We're holding a different tool, and the approach is completely different. But at the same time, like fairly scratchy. The yarn and wool that we use is very soft, right? We're kind of little babies with our materials. Like it's very soft and nice, but theirs isn't. But it does hold up very, very well. Catherine, great to see you. I did a while back, and I haven't done since, Gail, like it was when I was still in the studio with the pink walls. I did a whole series on Native American rugs because I found this cool old book. And it was a fun series because I think we ended with some questions about like trivia, like what do you think this design means? And what do you think that design means? And I had all the answers. I vaguely remember that. I feel like it was so much fun. Maybe it's something we should return to soon. Catherine, welcome. It's good to have you. So this is obviously, I won't even insult you by asking what you think of this rug. This is obviously a new rug. And this is another of the style of rug that are on Amazon right now. What's special about this rug? Well, it really, it this we're talking about oranges tonight. We are not talking about apples. What's special about this rug? You can get it in lots of different colors, and that's nice. If you have a dog who does circles on the floor with his butthole, right, on the carpet, you are not going to put one of your hooked rugs down, but maybe you would put this rug down because this rug can also go into, it's not like he does it all the time. I feel like I'm telling tales about buttons. He does it occasionally, and he, between him and the cat, no rugs in this house are going to see the ground. This rug you can fold up and put it into your washing machine. Also nice. It's very, very thin. It's not plush. It's just for color. It's not going to keep your feet warm. It's just a decoration, right? But looking at it for me, it has an interesting kind of takeaway, and that is, it looks like it's meant to go the other way, first of all, like the tall way, right? I just put it this way so we could see it a little bit bigger. It has some interesting stuff going on. Like, do you notice the amount of black flowers and black leaves on this very dark gray background? That's really interesting to me because my eye first read all those black values as like antique hit or miss, like marble cake in the background. And they're not. It's just that some of the motifs are hooked in black. And it's odd because it's almost like vacant parts to the canvas, right? Like it's like, ooh, not only is it not um, like the right color, it's almost like a negative of the color. It's like extra invisible. But I think it's cool. I think it's a cool touch. It's a weird touch. And I gotta say, I like it. It leaves some places where your eye really works for what is that? What's in there, right? It's interesting. It for me creates a lot of interest, and I think I never thought to do that with my rug design. You know, when you're agonizing about contrast, is there enough contrast? Oh my God, do I have the right contrast? Let me get my red film out and look through it and see if I have enough contrast. And then you see something like this and you think, wow, that contrast is not okay at all. But I'll tell you what, that's really interesting. And also the green leaves, like the army green leaves against the dark gray background, also not good contrast. But you know what? I really like it. I love the color variety. Does everything have to be all matchy matchy and perfect? No. And this is a good reminder of that. There's a lot of motifs here that don't repeat. There's like a little spray of flowers that almost look like grapes. There's like on the top left, the way that it's situated here, there's like a sort of berry branch, right, with little black flowers at the end of it. That's not repeated. There's a lot of one-offs in here, and it gives you a real sampler feel. It's a very unusual rug. Is it a high quality rug? No, of course not, right? But it's an unusual rug. I thought I had it in about 100 colors. Okay, this is it. I'm going to go back to the other one. This is it in pink. So another great thing about looking at these rugs, right? Just another idea. If you are stalled and you ain't got nothing in you for ideas or color planning and you're sitting there looking into space like there's something wrong and you're thinking, if only I could think of a color palette. Well, go on Amazon and click on some of these rugs because they come in lots of different colors and it might be enough to pull you out of it. Like, I mean, look, these are all exactly the same rug. I think it's really interesting. This almost looks like a Theorem painting with the kind of parchment white and then the kind of cream and spilled milk colors on top of it. And then this is a super early American palette, isn't it? I mean, super charming rug. Who would put a white rug down? Well, someone who knows they could put it in the washer dryer with no consequences would, right? So that could be you. I'll have to figure out how much these are. Pink is so pretty. Shay, good to see you. The pink is super pretty. And you know what? I love this one too, with the sort of squash color and the rust. I mean, these are crazy. These are crazy rugs. So these rugs, let me tell you how much these cost while we're at it. 54. Well, some of them are $50.99. Others are $54.99. Different colors cost different, but they're between 50 and 55. You know what? I think I'm going to buy 10 of them. These are so good, aren't they? This one also has that pretty kind of bedroom feel, like it's you're reading a novel and it's set in the 1940s, and there's a young woman who's coming out as a debutante. She goes into her bedroom and she sits at her vanity table that has the flouncy stool, and there's a rug underfoot, and it's got to be this rug. Like what? She's brushing her hair with a silver brush, silver plated brush. It's got to be this rug that's under her feet, right? So it's interesting to go and to be able to look at all of these color possibilities. This is the last of the color possibilities. You know what? I think there's a blue one too that I didn't like and I didn't put it in. I also like the red one. I never like red. And this is really pretty. So you see some of these rugs, and maybe you don't agree, but some of these rugs really have something. I want to come back. Hold on. I want to come back. Is it here? Nope. Here. Wait a minute. I want to come back. Yeah, I want to come back to that one in a second. But I just wanted to show you because I thought I put this in as a slide and yet it's not there. I want to show you one of the pictures for that. Looks like this. And it's just showing you just how sort of low quality this item is. Is it pretty? Oh, it's as cute as a button. It's really pretty. And it's pretty in every color, but it comes folded. And there's actually instructions on when you open it, it will be creased and you will be PO'd. And you're going to have to put it in the washer and roll it up this way and do this to it and that to it. to be able to put it down on the floor, right, and have it be an actual flat rug that you can use. So things like that, they come into play, and that is part of the reason why the price is good. But at the same time, if you need a rug, I'm standing in the breezeway right now. If I need a rug for the breezeway that's nice and thin, and I do because I'm on flagstone right here, and I've got this thing that rolls, right? That's our set thing with the camera on it. I could use a flat rug, and one that's $54 sounds like it's a good price, and one that's as pretty as that sounds like it's, I don't know even which one I would choose. I love the pink one, the squash one, the white one, um, the orange one. I mean, they all had something to offer. Design wise, I think they were interesting to look at, and color wise, I think they were inspiring to look at. And hey, here's another. Um, I should have waited to say to you, what do you think? Do you think this is new or old? And I blew it. Let me look it up on my phone. This is another one that's new, but I think it's a great design. It has that very Escher, the artist Escher-esque feeling. This is another camp rug, so this is at auction right now. Is it right now? I wonder if it's sold. Let me check and see if this one's sold. Oh no, this one doesn't end till October 8th and starts at $100. Estimate again, I'm not even going to tell you. It's in the many thousands. It's ridiculous. So it is 96 by 120 inches. I can't do the math that quickly in my head, but starting price $100. It's clear to me because that other one we looked at went to what was it, 760? There are people online who are bidding these things up, and I think one of the categories for selling rugs that's really hot, and this is something we talk a lot about in rug hooking, because as rug hookers, some of us are like, oh, I have enough rugs, I'd like to make some rugs and I'd like to sell them and make a little money. Well, what subjects work? You know what works? Stuff that is like genre stuff, like fish, stuff for log cabins. People who have the money for a second home have the money for rugs to decorate it. And that, I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So rugs with these kinds of themes that you could see going in a vacation home are always rugs that sell. Good to know, right? Because we do our subjects as we like them. We're like, oh, here's another flower basket. Who wants the flower basket? It's like, nope, we want a bunch of fish, right? We want a bunch of fish for the log cabin. So these kinds of, I would expect that this one would go for quite a bit. So let me think this through. So this is a huge rug too. I bet you. Okay, so the starting price is 4,966. That's the estimate, and they want it to end at 6,500. I bet this is going to go. I bet this is going to go for, I'm going to say like 875, something like that, because it's big, it's colorful. Um, it would go great into a second home situation, like somewhere on a lake or by a pond or in the woods or something like that. And of course, gifts, right? Gifts for men are always a problem. And if someone knows someone who's a great fisherman that has like a man cave, they would buy this rug, wouldn't they? Like in a second, it would be like, that's a no-brainer. It is a absolutely beautiful rug, a new design. And is it out of copyright? No, it's not out of copyright, but a lot of Escher's stuff is out of copyright. And is the idea of filling your canvas with like sardines because the fish are so close together, is that under copyright? No, that is not under copyright. The idea of making a canvas filled with fish that are so tight together they look like sardines is not under copyright. You see what I mean? There's all kinds of variations. Okay, so we did see the pink one. Oh, I think I have to get the pink one. I really like these rugs. And I particularly like this series because, sorry, they came after, because they showed us so many colors from that one series. Now, I'm not going to play the game when the game is stupid, because I think you're going to know that this is also a new rug. And I found this one. This is a company called Safavian, and they are enormous. They are an enormous rug company. They are on their own. They're also on Amazon. This rug is 1 foot 8 inches by 2 foot 6 inches. This is all wool. And they advertise their rugs as being for the entryway for high traffic areas. So they are really, Judy, these designs are really good, right? This one for me, not so much. And I'll tell you why in a second. But they have lots of rugs, Safavian, this company, and they can, and I think that might account for the weird cropped feel of this rug, But they offer all of their rugs. They have a variety of colors, and they offer their rugs as like, do you want it as a small rectangle, a big rectangle, a runner, an oval, a round? How do you want your rug? And I think because of that, they are showing us a crop of a textile design that would be repeated, for example, if it was a larger rug or if it was a runner. But at the end of the day, these rugs sell for between, this size sells for $21.46. And if you get a much bigger one, for example, wait a minute, let's see the biggest size they sell. Looks like the biggest one might be, nope, that's not the biggest one. Hang on. Ooh, yeah, no, here come the big prices. 9 foot by 12 foot. 9 foot by 12 foot is really big. 409, well, $500. There's 28 options actually for what size. So, and they don't show you what each of them look like, which is kind of tricky because, well, actually, I'm wrong. They do. They might. They might. I'm not sure if they do. So, for example, look at this right here. And doesn't it look like a crop? Well, it is a crop because this is the welcome mat size. And then this is the biggie that sells for 500. So it's much bigger, but I think you can see that that cluster that repeats, that is the design we just saw, but on the welcome mat, all it has room for is the cluster. So the thing with these rugs, design-wise, there is a whole category of rugs in the, what is it, Safaviya rugs. The way that they work, the way that they work is you choose the size and the color, and they send it to you. But the fact of them having all those variations means that from one rug to the next, the smaller size, the bigger size, the medium size, the round size might not be super successful design-wise because of the variations. They're doing square peg, circle hole, trying to make one textile design pleasing to every imaginable shape, and that's not possible. So with those kinds of choices, you have to, I think, be careful. Now, here's another one, and this is another Amazon one. Let me pull up my thing on this. I'm absolutely in love with this. I think it is so cheerful and pretty. This is another one of those rugs that will arrive folded, but is super pretty. Let me see. This is from a store called Moynesa, Moynesa. This is an ultra thin, and this is just what I need for this room. I need a few ultra thins. A soft, washable, non-slip back. And this is the design with the birds, right? So I'm going to go back to the site. Super, super pretty. These are, they come in different sizes, but they are the same from one size to the next. So 5x7, 8x10, 9x12, and then 3 more sizes. So for example, the 5x7, still a good size rug, is $59. And okay, they have like a round. Let's check out what the round looks like. Oh my gosh, that's still really pretty. Here, let me show you. It's in a different, oh my gosh, get ready. You're going to go bonkers. Look at the round. Look at this. It almost looks like a Pennsylvania Dutch barn painting. Isn't that gorgeous? So for this Safea or Safavea or whatever that one was we just looked at, for me, the textile didn't do as well design-wise as a repeat in every size and shape. But for me, the small rectangle looked great, and the circle, which is about as different as it can be, also looks great. Isn't that gorgeous? The circle is 6 foot round, and it's $69.99. Wow. Let's look at that design again. So very inexpensive. It comes in lots of different colors. And isn't this just impossibly charming? I mean, really, I'm just going to have a sip of my drink. The little border around the edge, the little sort of triangles. I mean, it almost looks like something that someone did in their sketchbook, like in watercolor, right? Or pen and ink or something. And that central flower, that's what's holding it together in every variety. The central flower works, doesn't it? Look at the color palette on this too. And look at how there's not just white in the background, there's white and cream. Look at how much blue and rust is in this, right? Those are really the dominant colors. But then there's that cool green, like that light cool green. Interesting, isn't it? It looks a little bit like a fractal. I hope this thirstiness thing ends before I have to go to bed. I don't want to be up and down all night looking for coffee, looking for water. Definitely not looking for coffee. And so I showed the green one to you in a circle. But wow, I mean, this 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 design in any color absolutely does it for me. And from a distance, does this look like a classic hook rug? Does this look like it could be a Pearl McGowan? Sort of. But you gotta admit, with Pearl McGowans, we never really see like one central flower, right? So already there's something different. It strikes you very first glance as a traditional rug. You look at it for the 2 seconds instead of 1 second, and you think, now this is not a traditional pattern. This is super folky. Like this has that great folk art backbone, these stylized flowers. I love these rugs. Here it is in a different color palette. And for me, contrast is maybe a thing with this one. That light green, it's a nice cool green with the yellowish birds. Contrast is not great, but it is great with the, oh my God, I'm sorry, with the darker green birds. But color wise, I'm still in love with this. It almost looks like a floor cloth because it's very flat. And they're telling you it is very flat. It's so flat it comes rolled up in a ball, and you're going to have to put it in the washer or dryer to be able to make it flat again. That's how flat this thing is, right? Let me see if there's any more colors. Well, so they're doing similar colors to the other rug that we saw that was also being sold on Amazon. Gotta say, I love these color choices. And different colors from one to the next really demonstrate the fact that different things pop, right? One, the hummingbird type thing at the top is not popping in this, but the bird with the dark wings is. And the flowers with the black flowers and the blue flowers or the blue sort of buds look like teardrops, right? Or raindrops. That I didn't even notice that motif in any of the prior ones, but because of the colors in this one, I'm noticing different things. Also, the brownish kind of olive green sweep of the vines that are covered with petals. Inspiration, whether you think or not that this design is fantastic or that rug is so bad quality that you wouldn't want to have it, doesn't matter. Here's a great idea. Look at some of the ones that we're looking at tonight, and you think, ooh, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the designs. This is one of the designs that's done in quarters. You fold your paper into a quarter and you just get going, just like a Hawaiian teveve. Remember the segment we did on teveves, where you fold your paper in a quarter and you do this big floral thing and you open it in a quarter, almost like a paper snowflake. And man, teveves are look up Tivaeae. Hawaii, it's a form of Hawaiian quilt that it is done exactly the same way as these, right? But these are way more filigree. Now, again, I don't even dare ask you because I think it's pretty evident that this one is new. Oh, hey, look who it is. Oh, here comes my man. I'm going to get out of the way. There's my man. He's wearing his new shirt. I got this shirt for him in Ohio.
Thank you.
And I forgot. I unpacked it just now. I didn't realize it was still packed. How'd you make out today, Ted?
It was good. It was good.
Yeah, it was a good day. And Friday at that, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you got going this weekend?
I don't know. I think I'm doing something with Gus, right? On
Yeah.
Saturday, right?
Yeah, tomorrow's Saturday. Gus is gonna come. Gus can come tomorrow.
Do you know what time he's gonna come?
Do I know what time he's gonna come? He's riding here on his bicycle from the other side of the state. So I think I think in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could do something fun tomorrow. I want to go out and do something tomorrow, but I don't think you want to come do it with me.
What is it?
Well, funny that you ask. There's an event happening here. You have never watched with me. Look at your buddies are saying hi.
Thank you.
You've never watched with me my all-time favorite show. It's called Gilmore Girls. It's a family show. It's a comedy about a mother and a daughter and all the people who live in this charming town. Some of it was filmed here in our town, like for real.
Yeah.
But it's set outside Hartford, and it's set in Connecticut, but it's a fictional town called Stars Hollow. Well, they are having tomorrow in Hartford, in a section of Hartford, their second annual Gilmore Girls Fest. They're turning part of Hartford into Stars Hollow. And if you know the show, they're creating like Luke's Diner and Taylor's Candy Shop.
Yeah.
And it's like you go through the whole village, and it's the village that's like the set of the show.
Yeah.
Feel like coming with me?
No thanks. I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I didn't think
I
so.
love you, Mom.
I think I'm going to be going by myself to that one. I don't know anybody who wants. I mean, I think everybody loves the Gilmore Girls. Who knows it? But nobody has said they wanted to go with me. So I'm going to go by myself.
All right. Love you, Mom.
But then I'll come home and we'll do something fun. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you soon.
And what are we going to do on Sunday? Want to tell them what we're going to do on Sunday?
Boston.
We're going to go to Boston. Yeah. And you and me are going to peel. Here, come on camera.
Sorry.
You and me are going to peel off on our own a little bit, right?
Yeah.
We might even, if we decide to, because Joss wants to go to the aquarium and Teddy doesn't want to do the aquarium. You don't want to look at the disgusting eels?
Nah.
Yeah, give that
really.
a pass. Give that a pass.
It's not really even disgusting. I just don't really.
Oh no, they are disgusting. Yeah.
Oh, they are.
They're horrible. It's hard. I hate looking at eels. But that's her favorite thing.
But didn't they like suck on your hand and stuff?
No, those weren't eels. Those were those things that clean you at that place in New Hampshire.
That was spooky.
There's fish that just like suck onto your skin and clean off the dead skin. Put your elbows in there. Yeah, that was spooky. Yeah, we might go to Salem or something. It's 45 minutes away, but we might drive to Salem because there's a couple of good video game stores there. Yeah. And everything will be decorated for Halloween, so we might really like that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
All right.
We're going to have a good weekend, one way or the other. We're going to have a nice weekend.
Love you, Mom.
Love you, babe. And then shut that door again because I can hear the girls.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you. That was a good shirt, wasn't it? I got that at one of the big antique stores, and it looked like it had never been used. I think it still had the tags on it. I was surprised it fit him because it's not his usual size. You know, he does like 2XL, and this was a 1XL because he likes things to be loose too because he's a bit self-conscious. But thank you. He loves to visit us. So yeah, so this is obviously a new rug as well. So let's find out what we can about this. This is another one I found on Amazon, and you know what this is. I will tell you what this is. This is a cute little rug, and at this size, this is 1 foot by 8 inches by 1 foot 8 by 2 foot 6. It costs $19.37, so not very much. But if you would like the larger version of this rug, hang on just a second. It's a different story. Again, just like with the other one, the larger version goes up to 9 foot by 12 foot, and it becomes a very different rug because look at this one here, right? It's just this beautiful kind of 80s style flower. We saw this a lot in upholstery textiles in the 1980s, this paprika with like the stone blues, you know, and then the warm greens, like it, with a black background. This exact print, we saw this again and again and again in the 80s. Very popular. It was a very sophisticated version of country. So this rug for under $19.50 is a great buy, and it's a very durable rug. But if you want it bigger, then you're going to get something that looks like this, which is, let me make it bigger. Really, it almost feels like a completely different pattern. And it is exactly the same flower again, but it's just a repeat of it. And in the larger versions, we see these leaves are introduced that look like plumes, and we see these flowers that look like star flowers. So there's some interesting motifs in the larger versions, but the smaller version, just the purest little one flower deal, is this little guy here. And he's adorable for $19.40. It does, for me, this brings up questions about composition and what is a successful composition. Because for me, it would be a very hard sell for you to ever get me to agree that a composition made up of one flower, right, a la Georgia O'Keeffe, could be super successful. I'm not a big Georgia O'Keeffe person for this very reason. I understand the device. I understand the trick. I understand what's going on. But for me, I guess just by nature of my personality, maximalist personality, it's like, I'm going to pass on the one, but why don't you show me this with 75 of them, and I'm going to be way more inclined to buy it. But that's just me, and that's just what I like to see, right? The collector in me wants 75, doesn't want one. But you can see, and it does make the point, that with rugs, whether they are small or large, you can adapt a motif that you are in love with and make it simple or make it very, very busy, right? And I have done classes. One of the design likes I did taught you how to make a repeat pattern. That is something I should make a video on. I should really do that because it's that making a simple repeat pattern is a very easy trick, and there are books on it. You don't need a book on it. You need someone to show you with 4 post-it notes how to do it. I'll do that in a video this weekend. It's a lot of fun to be able to do that, and it's a great sort of superpower to be able to create a repeat pattern, because you might sketch a flower that looks just like this from your garden and say, oh, this flower has changed my life. I want to do something with this flower. I'm going to sketch it right now so I don't lose it, right? And then you sketch it and you're like, but now what? And maybe all you want is to repeat it, right? And all you need to know is, how do I make a repeat pattern without watching 100 YouTube videos, buying 6 different books? It's very, very easy to do. That's something we'll do together soon. But I do like it like this, and I like it with more flowers as well. And I like that it's the same color palette. It just becomes a question of, what are you looking for and how busy do you want it? What do you think about this one? Do you think new or old? Because remember, we just saw a George Wells pattern last Friday night, and that was a vintage pattern. Do you think that had a lot in common with that? Oh no, Gail, you missed Teddy. Oh, I'll call him back before the end of the show. He looked so handsome. He had on his new Hawaiian shirt. He looked so handsome. He'll come back and say goodnight to us. Now, let me see. I'm going to pull up the answer to this before I tell a fibby. Hold on. Okay, I've got the answer. This is another one of those Safavieh rugs, and this is new. And could this be like a George Wells 1960 rug? Absolutely, it could. Absolutely, it could. So it's not, but it could. And one of the things that's bringing it to that place is the motif of the bee, obviously, but the gingham border, right? The gingham border was really a thing in the 60s and 70s. And just including it at gingham border gives it a bit of a either feminine touch or like a atrium kind of a room, like a closed-in porch kind of a room, right? Like it has a bit of an outdoor feel to it. It still maintains that nice country feel. These are super high quality rugs, 1 foot 8 inches by 2 foot 6 inches. Comes in lots of different colors. The bee only comes in this color combination, $25.75. I mean, let me see if the bee comes. Let me see if the bee comes. Let me see if he comes round. Oh, you know what he does? So he comes as an, okay, he comes round and as an oval. Here, I'll show you. He looks quite good round, I have to say. And this should also be a little bit inspiring because, oh, Rita, good to see you. Because, if you're working on a rug design and you think, how can I make that a different shape? I changed my mind. How can I make it a different shape? I was thinking in a box, and now I feel like a circle. How can I change it? Is it possible? Apparently it is. Always possible to change it. Hold on one second. I'm going to call him back. Let me give him a shout. All right, some of his buddies missed him. He's not going to like that. Hey, Ted. He's being requested to come back. Bring him on back. Bring on the man. So if nothing else, when you're just sitting there, you're waiting for an appointment, you're in an office, you're trapped, right? There's nowhere for you to go. You're in someone's car, you're stuck in traffic, you're not driving yourself. All of these things. It's fun to go down these rabbit holes, even looking at the oranges, right, of the apples and the oranges. I'm not concluding just yet. I'm doing an intro while he makes his way back. You can hear him scuffing along the floor, two left feet. It's fun to go down these rabbit holes and look at these things, because these people who are professional textile designers who design these commercial rugs, they have solved a lot of these problems already for us, right? Some people just logged on. Gail just logged on. I think Rita just logged on. You got some buddies who missed you. Sharon wants to say hi.
Wanted me?
Yeah, so just say hi one more time.
Hi.
Here he is. Yep. Friday night, baby.
Thank you.
There he is.
Yeah.
And you were telling us you had a pretty good day at school.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had yesterday off.
Except for I don't really like the substitute that much.
Oh, that's right. You had a substitute teacher. She was a real jerk, wasn't she?
She was just kind of impatient, Yeah. Like she expects me to do something like.
Have you seen the substitute teacher before?
Nah, I don't think.
So it was her first time with this group of kids.
Yeah. And
she couldn't even behave herself and be friendly and kind.
Well, I mean, she was friendly. She just was a bit impatient.
Was she young, old?
I don't even know. I think old.
It's not funny. He doesn't know things like that.
Nah, it's all good.
Like your
thank you.
Aw. I don't like her either, Ted. And you know that one of the rules of their school is they don't get homework on the weekend. She gave you homework. Not only did she come in and was gruff and impatient with everybody, but she gave him homework to boot.
Well, I mean, she was nice, but like I would be doing something, and like 2 minutes later, she'd ask, like, "Are you finished yet?" And I'm like, "No, it's been 2 minutes." Oh, sorry. Yeah.
I don't like her, Ted. I don't like
neither.
her. Oh,
All
you
right.
know what? We have one more cameo coming up, and then we will conclude the show.
Okay.
Okay, love you, Ted.
I love him.
Come here, one more cameo.
Oh, actually, I could pull him up.
Oh, you want to pick him up? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Buttons is gonna make a cameo. Watch his little head. He looking at Mama. He looking at Mama. He said, "Oh, Mama. Is there food for my mouse? Do you have the food for my mouse?" Jeff's a little snacky for him. There's some pieces of cheese in there.
Yeah. Piece of cheese.
Look at that face. Look at that little face. Look at that little soft face.
Thank you.
This is the rug ruiner.
I do like this shirt too.
Yeah.
And in the chat, yeah.
All right, go give him a little piece of cheese or something.
I'll give him some.
He's like a little mouse. A little mouse. Give him a snacky. And shut that door because the girls are loud.
Oh, okay.
So, the bee. I do like the bee. I do like the bee very much, I've got to say. And it's so... I know, he's such a good boy. Oh, Ruth, good to see you. You used to sub. I bet you were very nice. I can't imagine being with a group of kids for the first time and not being super nice. Like, why not? Because you might not even see them again. I know, Judy, it's so gross, the tongue. It's like, how can that tongue be so long? That's a tiny dog, and he's got the longest tongue. Oh, but he's so cute. He's such a good boy. All right, so this is another one of these. We are getting to the end. This is another one of these from the Moynessa store. And, I've shown you, I think, 3 from this store. And you can identify them because they all have a real specific look, right? One of them was all floral. One of them had birds. Now, this one is floral again, but this is more like all of the flowers in this one are kind of a comparable size. Yeah. It's got a very heavy scroll backbone to it, almost like an iron gate or garden gate, particularly in these colors. And this one has a more interesting border or a more elaborate border than the other examples we've seen from this store because it's almost a repeat of what's inside but smaller. It is a really good and whimsical rug for one of these rugs, right? That is not going to cost a fortune. This is going to cost, let me pull it up. These are the little thin ones that come in a bunch of colors. This size 5x7 is $47. 2x3 is $15.60. These are super inexpensive rugs, and and the design is gorgeous. The red and white rose is that Tudor rose, right? Like the Tudor and Lancaster roses of England, right, representing the different family branches and the war that broke out, the War of the Roses, right? This red and white rose is that rose, the Tudor rose. Beautiful. It looks like a nice historic rug. It's got this great filigree feel to it. Color-wise, could the colors be... What's going... I'm doing a live show.
You want to say hi?
Do you want to say hi? You can say hi. That's okay. Jolie, do you want to say hi? Oh, you don't have to, sweetie. Oh, the buddy. See you, buddy.
Say hi.
Oh, don't make her uncomfortable. You can come on next time you visit.
Did anime signs at you?
I know. I'll take him. Okay, go.
What do you
I'm
mean
afraid.
you know?
I'm afraid of you because of what you did that one time. I don't know. Yeah.
I won't swear. I won't call Glory anything.
Don't call Glory anything. Did you open Glory?
No.
Yeah, go.
Where?
Go.
Where's
I'm
Glory?
finishing.
Where's Glory?
No, she came today.
Who is that?
Thank you, Jolie. Her friend Jolie is keeping her down because she's going crazy. Jolie is so sweet. She's so sweet. She just got really nervous, thinking she was going to have to make an appearance. Could the colors be any better than this with this garden-themed rug? Well, you tell me. Kind of like these colors too. Now this is more of a limited palette, right? But it is for a different purpose, right? Different day, different mood, different everything. Really, really, really pretty. Oh, you know what? There were 100 more colors of that. I just didn't put them in. I wanted to move to a different rug because I knew I was going to run out of steam tonight. One of the other things that these contemporary rugs that are commercially made, one of the other things they do really well is because the people who are designing them, I'm going to go out on a limb and say all of these hooked rugs that are commercially hooked rugs that we're finding in places like this, they they are being made. I would stake my life on it by textile designers, not rug hookers. And I think some of them are doing a lot of due diligence and they're looking at antique rug designs, and that's where they're coming up with the log cabin designs, the hexes, the geometrics, all of those things that we've seen tonight. But I think a lot of textile designers are not necessarily, they're making things that they are calling hooked rugs, but they're not necessarily looking at hooked rugs for inspiration. This is obviously a Oriental rug that is being used as an inspiration. This is also from the Moynessa shop. And at this size, you're seeing it at 8 by 10. Let me tell you how much this costs at 8 by 10. For example, 130. Only two left in stock, right? So almost all of these with tigers are selling out. So again, when we say to ourselves, I would like to sell some rugs, what kinds of things are selling? Check sites of places that are making rugs, right? And look at what they've got. If you're able to see on a site like Amazon what the quantity is they've got left, you don't know what they started with. But if they're almost running out, that doesn't mean that there's been movement, right? That something has sold. They're moving. Well, these might be a good motif. I mean, this doesn't appeal to me. I have to say, I'm not a big one for like exotic animals, but I think it's quite beautiful. And I think the idea of superimposing a couple of tigers onto an oriental rug, kind of having the tips, like the sort of the tips of the trees and of these the plants around the edges, it's interesting. It's interesting. It's not for me, but I think it's a great idea. I'm surprised I haven't seen this before because it really looks like the animals are in the ground of a very traditional Oriental rug. Without them, it's just a pretty Oriental rug. But with them, for people who love, they are beautiful. For people who love big animals and big cats and stuff like this, they're going to go for this, right? And that's why they're selling out of them. And there's been so much movement on the tiger rugs. They offer them in two colors, the sort of traditional color and then this kind of phantom color, just like the white, right? Like they could be isn't there like the white Bengal tiger or something, and he is actually like a white tiger? Maybe this is that. But between them, two really unusual rugs, right? Just very different color palettes. So if you like this one, but you're thinking, oh, I'm not one for green, then you see this and you go, I'll take it. There's only two left. Interesting. And this is another one. Let me see what company did this one. This is another one that is really This is Moynessa again. This comes in lots of colors as well. Different colors than the colors we've been seeing. This comes in like, I'm going to show it to you in white too. It's very pretty. It comes in white, blue, black. So this is a different brand than the ones that we were admiring earlier. But if you can see this one, the orientation isn't really right for this photo. It's a peacock. It's got repeat peacocks and some different animals. I think I see maybe an elephant. Now I have to flip it because now I'm feeling like, hold on one second. I feel like I can't tell. The peacocks I think are bigger than the elephants. That's what's throwing me. I'm going to try to tip it to the right. So get ready for movement on your screen. And hang on. Let's stretch it out. This one is so detailed. Yeah, those are elephants, huh? They're almost photographic. Oh, there's bears down below too. Almost has this sort, and you see the peacocks on the little trees and then the peacocks in the middle as part of the scroll work. Super, super, super ornate. Do we see rugs that look like this in rug hooking, right? Like for sale? Yeah, we do. They usually are the ones that look the most like the William Morris. This to me has a bit more of a fantasy feel. I think it's absolutely charming. I don't know that I would want to hook animals that small. A fine hooker might be much more inclined, but it does have that sort of Garden of Eden kind of feel to it. Everything is very lush. It has a collage quality to it. Do you know what I mean? Like the way the animals are placed and the sort of photorealism of the animals' depictions. It looks like a collage, like clippings from a magazine or something. I think it's super pretty, and I think it's super pretty. And I know this is going to be really hard to make out, but in white, it's believe it or not, the same design. And is it harder to see the peacocks and everything? Yeah. It's easier to see the elephants, right? Now it's easier to see. But just, it's the kind of rug that is just, it strikes you as an oriental rug, right? As just, that's what it is. That's what you're expecting. But then when you look at it a little bit closer, it's like, ooh, I'm going to show it to you in blue too. The blue, well, the navy is pretty traditional, but it has a lot of extra color in it. It's a very, very busy rug. But I'll tell you, I do see busy rugs. I see people, oh, Gail, I do see people working on insanely complex rugs. And I think it's not for me, but some of these designs, yeah, somebody is going to love this, right? Somebody would love to hook something like that. Let's see what I put after that. We're probably on the home stretch. Oh, this one I really loved. Again, same kind of thing. Let me see what company this one is. And I have to say, again, my monitor, this is a company called Lahome, like Lahome, Lahome. Um, this is way brighter on my phone than it is on my monitor. This is like a nice, not emerald green, maybe something between an emerald and a teal. On my monitor, it looks very flat, but color wise, it's unreal. So this rug is 5 by 7. It can be in other sizes. It's $64. Um, really pretty. A company again called Lahome, Lahome. Oh, thanks, Gail. You know what I love about this one is very different than the one that we just saw. It is still the one we just saw. Let's come back here. Is a very fussy composition, right? I'm going to make it small again. It's very fussy. It's complicated. It's got a tremendous amount of detail. Everything, I'm going to just make it small. Everything in its place, right? Very symmetrical. And I'm going to flip it again, so get ready. There we go. Busy and symmetrical, right? That's the kind of pattern that this is. If you make a lot of mistakes or you go outside the lines or the shapes get stretched or dragged, is it still going to be an effective composition? Not sure. It's that busy. Whereas alternately, this seems like a busy composition. Just ignore the border in this. But this is what we call in textile design a scatter composition. So while the placement of everything is actually very thoughtfully laid out, at first glance it appears like it's scattered. It appears like I've got a bunch of butterflies and dragonflies in my purse. Oh, and a few pretty leaves of different kinds of plants. And I'm just going to empty my purse onto this blanket and may they land where they land, and there they go. And you scatter them and they kind of land. But it doesn't really work like this when you're doing designs like this that are scattered designs, even though it's not symmetrical and it's not matchy-matchy and it doesn't have to be perfect. You still have to be careful about where things land and where the weight of stuff is. You don't want too much of the really heavy stuff to find its way together because it upsets the overall composition. Shay says these butterflies are so lovely. They are fantastic rugs, and they're great. These are great inspiration rugs because I've seen a lot of rugs like this that look like a lot of something. I've even done a butterfly scatter rug myself, but it didn't look anything like this. It was very, very different, and the color was very different as well. I think I did like a blue sky or something very literal in the background. It was quite a long time ago, but I love this. I love the idea of like this literally a carpet of green, like this teal emerald color, and then using a vehicle like a butterfly, right, that is known to be very colorful. All different kinds of butterflies and moths. I see a moth in the center, and putting them in there and then really playing with color, almost like one of those coloring books, adult coloring books. And then there's lots of leaves thrown in there and a few flowers, and they're perfectly spaced. They're not taking away from the composition. It is a butterfly composition. Everything else is not taking away from that. It's just a great idea. What's your favorite thing? I mean, I know Jocelyn would say an eel, right? So if I were to make an eel rug, it would be a little bit harder because butterflies are a bit more compact, right? A big disgusting eel is, how many of those am I going to fit in one composition? But say your favorite thing was something normal like a bee or a butterfly or a chipmunk or, some small little character. You could do a repeat pattern like this: God's eye view, looking down. Butterfly would be a choice that gives you lots of color. But if you chose something that didn't have a lot of color, or for example, your grandchild loves, for example, chipmunks or skunks, and they don't have a lot of color, well, then you could just scatter the flowers, right? And all of the color would come from the flowers. And that would still work as a great composition, just a repeat, right? You just look at clip art and you take 20 of the thing. Now, this is another Amazon rug. We're looking at two unicorns and some other animals, right? Some other characters. There's like fox and deer and squirrels in the border. But this is a composition that plays completely on the idea of it being a busy circle, kind of vine circle, leafy circle, wreath within a wreath, within a wreath, within a wreath. And yes, there's two unicorns in the middle, right? So we've got like that nice sort of Noah's Ark feel to it, or unicorn tapestry, if you will, like whatever's for you. But at the end of the day, great composition, huge amount of pretty leaves, lots of vehicles for flowers, right? All of those stems could hold a pretty flower if you need color in that area. But at the end of the day, have you seen before a rug that runs on wreath after wreath after wreath, and then the utter border, when you get right to the edge, is kind of more filled in, right? So it's like a ring within a ring within a ring, a Russian nesting doll of leafy rings. I think it's a brilliant idea for a composition. I think you could do something super symmetrical, or you could tell a story in the center, like with the two unicorns. This one, again, has a bit of a feeling of like Garden of Eden or Paradise Garden, with all the different animals, together, in the border. But also the chance to add a little bit of color with these flowers. Really smart idea. Now, this, oh my God, we've got so many left, I'm never going to make it. I'm going to hold on that. I was going to do new or old. I'm going to hold because I am exhausted. And I didn't realize we still have half the show to go. We won't look at it immediately, but we'll look at it soon for sure. I want to bring you something else. I have to think about what to bring you on Monday. I am still going through my boxes from moving and looking for stuff, right? I know I didn't finish that show. I'm so tired. And I didn't finish this show. I'll think about what to bring to you on Monday. It'll be something great. I don't want to rush through the other slides because they might be quite pretty. And there might be some interesting design things that are worth talking about. So I don't want to rush that. There's some beauties coming up. Maybe I will do this on Monday. We'll see if I come up with a great idea that I go to instead, or if a magazine comes, something like that. But if not, I might conclude this. I hate having stuff hanging over me. We'll see how it goes. But in the meantime, let me show you something really quick. I'm going to cross a wire over here. I've been working on my new Sugar Skull pumpkins, my oldies. I did a little video. I don't know if you saw it, but I'm going to bring these to the Halloween party. And they're little guys. They fit into a 8x10, if you want the framer on the border there, or you could make it even smaller, right? And you don't even have to like hook the background if you don't want. They all are different. They're all going to be different. There's going to be like no two alike, but they all have different faces. I might put some online. I know I'm gonna bring a bunch to the Halloween party, because I just thought small sugar skulls, you can whip it up and you can just put it in a frame from TJ Maxx, right? A frame that you choose that you like, and it can be a little bit smaller, right? It could be like a 5x7, or it could be the 8x10. Either way, right? You just hook a little bit of it and boom, it goes into the frame. So, and I'm putting glitter on some. It's been super fun. Super fun. I've been loving doing that. And I wanted to tell you, sorry, I'm just bent over down here. I wanted to tell you the Halloween ones that I've done. Where are they? They're not there. Oh, they're way over there. The Halloween painted canvases that I've done that are now in the store. I'm going to send out a newsletter tonight. That's what I meant to do. I need to do that tonight. And they're still in the car. In the month of October, all of the Halloween hand-painted canvases, and I think there is it 6 or is it 7? Maybe it's 7. It was an odd number. I thought that made sense. All of the Halloween hand-painted canvases will come with a yarn bat, which are the bats that have the holes in their wings and all of these materials coming from it. So anyone who purchases that product in the month of October we'll get the Halloween pattern hand painted with a yarn bat filled with a mix of different fibers, different kinds of fibers too. So fancy fibers. So just a extra fun kind of trick or treat thing for the month of October. And oh, thanks, Mom. I love those mini pumpkins too. I think they're so fun. I love painting them, you know. Some of them I take too long on, but I just can't. And my mom knows that story because she was painting ornaments today, and some of them have taken like 6 hours. Um, I never take 6 hours. I can't take 6 hours with anything. I don't have the attention span. But some of them take longer than others because I'm like painting the eyelashes, and others I paint more in the background. I try to make them all take roughly the same amount of time because they will cost the same. But those are a lot of fun, and I've really been enjoying making them. All the different expressions. It appeals to the schizophrenic nut inside of me, right? Like it's like that kind of thing. Like the one of them has a mouth like this, and another one like this, and I love the variety. So, all right, I am tired. I'm gonna get that newsletter out so those of you who follow Ribbon Candy Hooking know what new products are out. There's a lot of new products out. I also put out, oh my God, multi-strand braiding. I put out multi-strand braiding for the first time in years. I cannot find my finished multi-strand braiding rugs, so I put some photos of ones that I took more recently, ones that I made, small ones in the class last weekend. But if you remember multi-strand braiding, I taught it in person a couple, 2 or 3 years ago. I taught it online, and then I put away my multi-strand braiding stuff because it's completely different materials. And I thought, done. I'm done. I can only do one thing at a time. My brain can't handle anymore. But I so enjoyed teaching it in person last week. I thought, let's do an online class again. I know we can do this well, and I feel confident that everyone who takes it is going to walk away feeling like they can do a 10 or even a 12 or 14 strand braided rug. Um, and they get worked up so fast. I mean, you finish it so fast, and they're going to come as a kit. Um, I forget what price I put on there. I don't want to say and have it be the wrong price. Let me just check for you. I put one date, but it is recorded. So if you miss the date, you will get the recording in full. You will not miss anything. I put November just because I have to make kits for it. Multi-strand. Um, I put it on November 9th, which is a Sunday in the evening, starting at 6 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And let me see what price I put on that in Ribbon Candy Hooking. I know a lot of people have been asking for it over the years, and my brain, right, it's just, everything's just been too much, but I feel like it's the right time again. And I really enjoyed making it myself. So let me see. I'll give you a price on that because it comes with, I think, what I say, like 75 or 80 yards of strips, and it's all synthetic, repurposed synthetic stretch material. So it'll work it'll work up really easily, right? It's stretchy, so it'll be that much easier to make. $85. Oh shoot, it's sold out. I'll have to okay. It's not sold out, right? It's an online class. It's just there must have been a number in there and it's sold out. Let me put that up. I'll fix that right after the thing. Sorry about that. But yeah, that'll be fun for you. If that's something that you've been wanting to do, because it's nice to get that big bag of material too. Then I'll put some extra bags of material if anyone wants more of the material. I've got tons and tons of colors of this. It's garment material from like the 60s and 70s, right? So it's like vintage garment material. It's all stretch and very easy to work with because it's stretchy. So I'll put that up. I'll fix it being sold out, and I'll start blasting those kits out. But you have a good month to think about it, and as long as you get the order into me like a week before or whatever for the live thing, you'll get the kit and you'll be able to do it. And I'll tell you, when you are working with, you start with 4 strands, right? It sounds like, oh my God, oh God, it's so much easier than a traditional braided rug. And there's no lacing with this form, right? It's so much easier. When you're working with a 4 strand and then you add a strand, you actually fold it in half, right? So you add 1 strand, but it makes 2 more, so we're up to 6. You add 1 more strand, we're up to 8. You add 1 more strand, we're already at 10. And it goes as fast as that. And when you're working with even 4 or 6 or 8 strands, it is way more like weaving with your hands, right? Just with your hands, um, and no tool, just fingers, right? Much more like weaving than it is like braiding. So if you're weavers and that's appealing to you, it's going to come very easy to you. And I feel like I have really figured out the best formula for doing this rug, so you will have success. Think about it. Something different to do, right? Just another trick for your bag of tricks. In the meantime, have a great weekend. I will be back with you on Monday. I don't know what we're doing. I'm doing Gilmore Girls tomorrow. I'm doing Stars Hollow, and we're doing Boston on Sunday. So I guess that's on the cards. Maybe a little bit more stuff. We have some friends coming over tomorrow afternoon. That was what Teddy was talking about, his friend. And it's going to be a busy weekend. So I think I'm going to finish that newsletter and get to bed. And I will look, if I see anything interesting this weekend, I will snap some pictures and I'll put them up for us all to look at. If we do go to Salem and I hit any antique stores. But in the meantime, you have a great weekend. It's a beautiful fall weekend. Don't squander it. They go by so fast, don't they? And you never know if next weekend is going to be a rainy weekend or something. As much as we need the rain, right? As much as we do, don't squander it. Get out there, check out your cornfields and all the pumpkins for sale in front of the church, right? If you have all those things around you too, go check it all out. Take some photos, drink it in, and think about some great composition ideas, right, that we were talking about tonight. Think about your next great project. And I will see you on Monday at 11 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. In the meantime, if you want to talk to me or bounce ideas from Magpie Times, please do. I need your ideas. I got a couple more features today. I need some more features, and I need some gallery stuff. Ribboncandyhooking@gmail.com. I will see